just don't see any reason why Adam or Eve would have had a belly button. I don't think they did. Hey guys! Back again. I promised you a video. I'm going to make it, even though I think I should make a different video first. It's the No-Nonsense Financial Coach, bringing you bad jokes, dad jokes, and can't think of anything else that rhymes that's finance related. Yeah, let's get into it. So last video I promised you I was going to talk about being a month ahead in your budget, and hopefully this is short because it's a pretty simple concept. I started doing this a long time ago, and it took me a while to work up to it, but basically what it is in a given month you're operating off of all of the money you earned in the previous month. And there's a couple advantages to that. It's not really you have to do this to succeed financially. I just find it super helpful for budgeting purposes. So basically what happens, let's say you and your spouse both work, or maybe you're single, whatever. Essentially what you want to get to is where all of the paychecks that you get paid, it's January right now, so let's say in January, let's say you get 2 paychecks, one at the beginning, one in the middle. You're trying to get to the point where you can take both of those checks and set them aside. We have several bank accounts, and so we can just transfer money as it's deposited. You transfer all that money into a separate account, a holding account, if you will. And then on February 1st, in this example, you can look back and say, this was all the money we made in January. So maybe it's more than just, for single people, you might just get 1 check a month, 2 checks a month, something like that. If you're married or you have multiple income streams, you do the same thing. So, okay, I get 2 regular paychecks, and then I have 63 subscribers on YouTube. So I get paid out, 17 cents a month from YouTube. Okay, so that goes in the holding account as well. And then I drive Uber 3 nights a week, and so I make $500 a month from that. I don't know, maybe Uber people. Uber? I never went to Uber driver. Maybe Uber people make more than that. Whatever you make, that goes into the holding account. You sell some stuff, that goes into the holding account. Everything that you receive in January goes into the holding account. And then on February 1st or the end of January, you sit down and go, okay, this is all the money that I have, and I'm going to budget this money for February. Now, here's the deal. You can't just up and decide, I'm going to save all the money I make this month and not spend anything without having some planning going into it. So what we had to do over the course of, it's hard looking back to remember, but I want to say it was probably over the course of 2 years, was we slowly stuck extra money that we could into our emergency fund. And then when our emergency fund got big enough that it could sustain a month's worth of expenses, we made the switch. And so basically what it was, and we didn't completely clean out our emergency fund when we did this. I want to say we ended up with, maybe I'll just use a generic example. Let's say your expenses are $2,500 a month. And so for a year, you stick just a little over $200 a month into your emergency fund. Okay? At the end of the year, you've got somewhere around $2,500 in your emergency fund. Now, I would say go a little bit beyond that so that you've got some cushion room. But basically what you do is, as you get paid, because you've got that emergency fund, you take all your checks and everything, and every month, all the money you earn and all the stuff you sell and whatever, and you stick that into your holding account, and you start drawing off of your emergency fund. And you essentially use up that money that you set aside to do this. And really, it's just a mental thing. It helps me just sit down and budget a little bit better. I kind of know what our monthly budget is, and so one cool thing that I do is I sort of know what we're going to spend. So if I have a month where I worked a bunch of overtime and maybe we sold some stuff and maybe we didn't have some expenses, I can look in that holding account and say, gosh, there's an extra $500 sitting in there that I know we're not going to need for this next month's budget. And I just automatically take that and stick it into an investment account, a retirement account, some kind of sinking fund. Maybe if we're looking at replacing a vehicle, I'll just fund Christmas that month, you know. It helps me budgeting wise. Maybe some of you are thinking, Andrew, just you don't need to do that. It's whatever. The thing that it does do, though, is it sort of gives you kind of a secondary emergency fund, obviously. And this is why I said I should have made another video. I should have made an emergency fund video before I made this one. But it's a little thing we do. I like it. Definitely need an emergency fund. Don't clear out your emergency fund to do this, okay? But what it does is it kind of gives you a secondary emergency fund, because if you think about it, let's say you have an emergency fund of $5,000, okay? But then you're also a month ahead on your budget. At any given point, you're operating out of that holding account while still bringing in more income for your budget for next month. So if things go crazy, you don't just have that $5,000 in your emergency fund. You also have whatever you've been paid up to that point in the month. I hope this kind of makes sense. Again, guys, low production quality, another one take here, no fancy editing, no cool sound effects, no sick intro to the video. It's just Andrew the talking head driving in his mobile office. At some point I'd like to sit down and just kind of show you what this looks like on paper with some cool infographics and matrices. There's a $5 word for you. But yeah, maybe you want to do it. Maybe it'll help. It just kind of helps me sleep at night. It makes doing the budget a little easier, because then the other thing too, advantage, and it's not that big of a deal once you get used to doing a budget and you know what your monthly expenses are going to be on average. It's just easier. You know, you do that for January, you get to February 1st and you sit down and you go, I've got $3,000 to budget. I don't have to guess how much overtime I'm going to make. I don't have to guess how much stuff I'm going to sell. I don't have to guess, how many pizzas I'm going to deliver, whatever your side hustle is. It's just there. And you have the exact dollar amount. And you say, this is what I got to work with. It really helps me mentally. And I need a lot of help mentally. I think some of you can relate, right? So that's it. Be a month ahead in your budget. Cool little tip. You don't have to do it. It's not the deciding factor on whether you're going to win financially or not. It's just something that I do, and I want to share with all of you guys. You got this. You can do it. Okay. Save money, invest money, pay off debt, get out of debt. It's a debt. It's bad. Yeah, we can do this together, guys. More videos to come. Next one's probably going to be an emergency fund video. It's going to be sick. I'm going to up the production quality at least 0.5 percentage points. Might have music playing in the background. Might have some visual effects. I don't know. I might just, turn my dome lights off and on so you get that disco effect. That didn't even do it. It's terrible. Awful. Okay, like, subscribe, share the video with people, or don't. It's, not top shelf. Yeah, I hope the advice is good, but production quality is still what it is, guys. Love you. You can do it. Get a month ahead in your budget.